I want to switch gears a little bit. You guys know I want to talk to you about the battles. It's my favorite thing about what you guys do. Every time I ask someone on this podcast about DJ battles, they say it's too stressful, it's too hard, you shouldn't do it. And I know I finally found two people who will back me up. So I want to know, guys, what was your favorite part and least favorite part about hosting the battle? And then do you think that DJs should participate in competitions? And I want to start with Kombat.
So when people say it's too difficult, it's too stressful, then why do you do anything in life? If everything's easy, just stick to the easy route, you know? I think stressful, uncomfortable, and difficult situations make people grow. And I think necessarily a lot of DJs think, well, if I'm not going to win this, why would I compete? Well, the networking that's involved, the growth that happens standing in front of a room, not just of strangers, it's all DJs. And you know every single little mistake. You're going to be like, all right, what? But it's the exposure. It humbles you. It makes you, I think, more of a modest person. It definitely brings you down to earth. I've competed in DJ battles that I was a crybaby about. And I learned a lot from it. It's like, it is what it is, you know? Sometimes you learn more from your failures than you do your success, and that's the way it should be. But as far as the battles goes, man, I encourage everybody to get into them. I think one of the biggest frustrations that me and Fuse have with the battles is people who back out last minute, because then we have to scramble to, one, entertain that night, and space it out to where we don't end the battle too early, because as soon as battles are over, the crowd kind of leaves, unless we have a headliner. So there's a certain way that me and Fuse structure the battles to make it entertaining for everybody. There's a lot of questions that people ask that everything that we do at the battle nights is for a reason, even down to getting hammered. No, I'm kidding. But everything we do is for a reason at those battles. I mean, we try to make it as entertaining as possible, and we're trying to make it continue to grow. So.
Kombat, one of the things about, I've never done a battle, and the reason is I always thought it was just basically who can scratch the best. Is that a wrong perception?
Yeah. If you want to scratch the best, leave it to DMCs. You know, I respect the DMC circuit. I respect the turntablist circuits. I respect the people who compete in them. I respect the Red Bull circuit. Me and Fuse are starting to cater these battles towards more of what would you play in a club. And make it to where a DMC guy, I have seen DMC guys tank at a club. It sucks to see it, but I've seen some of the best. I've seen a world champion, we're not going to say names, tank in a club set. And it's because they don't know the club circuit. We want, like, what do you see more, DMC DJ, or do you see club DJs more? We're trying to appeal more towards the club DJ types of things. Where somebody can walk up there with a controller and destroy a dude on turntables. Mm-hmm. Because they have more energy. They're more entertaining. Essentially, that's what it comes down to is, are you entertaining? So
I think you'd call it like a party rocking battle, right, Kombat?
Yeah.
And I like that as well. What do you think, Fuse?
Yeah, I mean, Richie said it all. And I think that, you know, like, we have had plenty of nights where a guy with less quote unquote like skills has put out somebody that it's very technically skilled, you know, and like,
sorry.
Yeah. Then like, that's kind of what we say too. Like, sorry, dude. Like you kind of knew that this wasn't like that's what we tell everybody too when they sign up. We're like, this is not a scratch battle. So like, if you come here trying to do it,
technicality is our lowest point.
Right. Yeah.
Points.
So like, we try to encourage, you know, people to do it. And, you know, I feel like every time, you know, when people are frustrated, like they're like, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do. They always like come out of it. They always say the same thing. They're like, I'm actually glad I did it, because like I came up with some new routines that I use like during my sets in the club, or like, you know, and, you know, for like Richie and I, like a lot of it too is like he said, is like structuring the night. And for us, I think with keeping these battles successful, like a big part of it is just balance. Like a lot of the people that come to them want to come because it's like slightly poppin', like, you know, whereas like I shouldn't downplay it and say slightly, like every time we do the battles, like we have a great crowd, and like
It's a party.
yeah, like 50% of the people that are there just to party, and then like the other 50% are like DJs and the fans of the DJs that, you know, that are competing in that night. So like a lot of anymore, like the last couple years, like the way we've kind of just been doing it too is like Richie MCs and like keeps the flow of the night going. And like, as soon as somebody's not battling, I'm playing. Like, and the reason that we feel that works the best too is because like we know how the night's supposed to go. And like, you know, like at a certain time, I need to like up the energy still, like in the room, even though we might have like guys competing, like at the end of the day, we're at a bar and like the bar is there to make business. So like, I still try to, well, you know, you could probably say like from the ones that you've been there, like I'll play music, but I'm not up there like playing the hypest shit that's possible. And like the other cool thing I think is like, I'm like off to the side of the stage and not even like in like the limelight. So like as soon as the next DJ goes on, Richie talks for 30 seconds to a minute, kills the energy in the room. Like if like, not like he's bad, but just in terms of like, you know, like bringing the mood back down. And then as soon as the DJ starts on stage again, like people are like, oh, there's something going on. Look over here. You know, like they kind of get it
spotlight curtain call.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I think that's important. Like, I think that showcasing every DJ and, you know, making them feel important is just as important to like the overall flow of the night, you know? And again, like with everything that we're doing, like everybody is trying to make money off the deal. Like we're not going to sit here and say that like we're not either, but like we're trying to do good by the DJs. Like, you know, like every DJ that comes and competes, you know, drinks for free that night. Every DJ that comes and competes, like gets cool photos from that night. Like, and like, I think you guys would agree that sometimes that kind of stuff is just as important too. Like looking cool on the gram is like just as important as like, you know, winning the battle. So like if Joe Blow from, you know, 2 hours east of Cincinnati is, you know, coming to DJ and he gets some cool pictures at a bar that he would never have gotten to play at, that's almost just as beneficial to him as like, you know, other people. And like, I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying like, we're trying to, if you come and you compete, like you get something out of it. You know, it's just as much of what you put in, you know, versus, you know, anything else. And it's frustrating. I mean, those days are long days. Richie and I get there, you know, 2 hours before sometimes. And some of those, like the finals nights that we do, and they're like, you know, we're going through a lot of DJs and then we got a headliner DJ. And, you know, we've had to pull a headliner or two off at these too. And that's not fun.
No.
Let me tell you about this.
That's not fun.
Go ahead, Combat.
So we brought in DJ Qbert. I think everybody knows Qbert.
Yeah, I can't believe you the name drop him.
No, he didn't bomb his set. He's Qbert, man.
Yeah.
Listen, Qbert, we had a line all the way to the bathroom with DJ gear of different people that wanted his stuff signed,
including me.
One. Yeah, that alone made it like epic. I was like, I've never seen something like this. When Qbert came in, he came in around 3 or 4 p.m. and he was up there like doing a sound check and everything like that. I think we went through like 3 different turntables because he would touch it. He's like, nope, I don't want this one. Nope, I don't want it. I was like, all right.
I just imagine him like waving his hand over the turntable like a Jedi, like this isn't it.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. Real quick, is this live? Are we live? Can people watch it somewhere right now?
Absolutely, yeah. You can go to Facebook, the Columbus DJ Podcast, or you can go to twitch.tv/DJAXCESSMUSIC.
All right. Cool. Somebody just text me. Sorry to interrupt.
All good. Combat, keep going.
So, yeah, he shows up. It was like 3 or 4 p.m. and he starts, you know, Brian Benton, DJ Guinness, shout out to him. He's like the DJ Jesus of Cincinnati. Nicest dude ever. But he provided his two 1210 M5Gs, which we know are like the best turntables ever made. And Cuber was like, nope, this one's not good. And looked like Brian was about to cry when he found out. But he warmed up, dude. He practiced for a solid, I don't even know, 3 or 4 hours.
The crazy thing is that guy's nuts. He moved the platter, like, and he was like, that's broken. And we were like,
I was like, what? So he started like practicing, and he practiced by himself for like 3 hours, dude. I was like, what is going on right now? So I go up there and I'm like, is everything good? And this and that. And he's like, yeah. He's like, you cut? And I'm like, no, not really. Like, I'm not about to scratch in front of you, dude. Like,
You did, though.
Same thing. Yeah, I did. And he was kind of like, oh, that's dope. That's dope. And then I was like, yeah, I'm done. But he DJ'd that night, and it was awesome. I mean, dude, he killed it. We had cameras on him, on his hands and everything like that. And then it just got to the point to where it was like a full-blown scratch session. And I was just like, the owner of the venue was like, we need to get him off. And I looked at Fuse. I'm like, I'm not telling him. And Fuse looks at me. He's like, I'm not telling him. So we both look at Davey C. Shout out to him. We're like, oh, this is your residency.
Yeah, dude. Shout out, Davey. I already know how this conversation went.
We got to have Davey on the podcast, Corrupt, for sure.
For sure. So we had Davey go up. And I don't even know what he told him, actually, to be honest. I have to ask Davey. But he was apparently really cool about it. And then Fuse started playing because, I mean, at the time, we were losing a lot of customers that didn't know what was going on. And that was the whole, like, this is where Fuse is amazing at this, where we cooperate together on this DJ battle. And Fuse knows how to keep the crowd there, how to keep them partying, and like you said, keep it at level 10. So Hubert was just up there doing scratch sessions. The DJs loved it, but nobody was really drinking. Nobody was really dancing.
And at the time, that's when the bar, was on Fountain Square. So we were getting like a lot of people in there that like knew we were doing something, and then like something was going on, but didn't quite like understand. They were like,
right.
Oh, this is cool. But then, after like 15 minutes, they were like, ugh. So it's hard. That's an example of it's hard. That's about like a hard balance, And
he's not the world class DJ the world class turntablist that I saw tank, by the way. He's one of the guys that just, it's management or ownership had to make a decision. And it was like they weren't happy. And in these situations, Corrupt, you deal with this where, ownership steps in and like, you're done. I mean, that's everywhere in the Vegas circuit. And
like we were very specific when booking that. We were like, look, like the battle is not, like a turntablist battle. It is a DJ battle. We do want you to like showcase, but like we want more of a, like a showcase set for maybe like the first 10 or 15 minutes, and then like to go into a more of a club set. And that kind of like didn't ever really happen either. And like, so that's kind of just how it happened, and
honestly, like working under Peerless when I started with them like 6 or 7 years ago, it was like a blessing in disguise because they literally told me like, we're going to make you a better DJ. Like it's just going to naturally happen. And I was getting to know Serge and Davey, and it's true, like learning to program the room, upping my library. When I came to Peerless, I had already had I thought my career was already at its peak coming from CGS Group and Sugar Bar. And like, I was like pretty confident in what I was doing until I saw like Serge play and like realized like, okay, like I was in college. Now I'm in the pros and now I got to figure this shit out. So like the whole, like they know how a room's supposed to be run at their bars and how to generate sales. And that is a whole nother thing that is really important to learn as an open format DJ. And I think it can't be understated is like, you can be a good technical DJ and you can like have the biggest library in the world, but if you don't know how to like save a room, listen to your owners and like please them a little bit, you're in for a uphill battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you got to be able to make money. Got to be able to make the money for whoever you're performing for. What? Go ahead, Dave.
I think too that was a learning experience for us that with that too, because since then, you know, we've been very like selective on like who we want to bring in, like for like the nights where we do have like a headliner, and like Richie and I now like are very like, it's got to be somebody that we know is like kind of like crushing it in the open format realm, but like still like you know, but still like can like technically
Teachable.
you know, hold it down too. Like
Chris Villa murdered.
Yep.
yeah, Chris, that was great. That was a great pick. We had Spider, and that was great. And then that just worked out to where he was on tour with Blink, and he came in and did like a whole, like all kinds of like rock and routines and like.
We almost got the. We were poking around the idea of a Dex and drummer set with Spider and
Travis. Yeah.
Oh man, that would have been insane, but I think they were asking for like some ridiculous. I think like $15,000 for maybe a set or some shit. I'm not sure what they were asking for, but yeah. Shout out to Tin Roof, man. They have wholeheartedly supported us in these battles as well. They've helped out a lot with financially helping us with the battles and everything like that. So
yeah, I mean, too, like not to like pat ourselves on the back, but like what we gave $3,000 away the last year. Like the Red Bull 3 style's not even giving that away. So
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I want to make a point real quick. KOMBAT and Fuse, how long you guys been doing the battles? Like where you've been hosting them?
Together, like 5 years now.
And then how much total prize money have you think you've given away?
Oh shit.
Probably close to $20,000, because the first couple years it was more actually.
Yeah, it's about 30 or 40.
Yeah, so just to give, like, for people who are thinking like, oh, these are battle, like these are not your average battle. These are well run. They may not have the clout that the Red Bull has, but I mean, I fully support these guys for doing the battles. And I want to know, do you you don't get 5 years and give away $25,000 without, you know, thinking about the sales and making sure that everyone who has a hand in it is like taken care of. So shout outs to you guys. But I want to know, do you guys have any tips as hosts for DJs joining a battle? Like for me, I would say that go up there and have your goal to be to play clean. Because if you go up there and have a goal to play clean, then you could win, because if you play a clean set, then you literally did what you could do to win. But you're not necessarily worried about winning, because maybe you guys will talk about it. Judging a DJ battle is different. You know, you guys aren't the judges, and I think that's smart. And maybe you guys can talk about who you would pick as judges, but judges are finicky. So judges are sometimes paying attention. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're music people. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they just don't like the music you played. No fault of your own. So go in there with the goal to play clean, and then you'll less likely to be disappointed and end up like a crybaby, like KOMBAT said, that he's dealt with, that he's been. And I've been a crybaby too in my early battling years. I think everyone kind of goes to that. You're putting your heart into something. So do you guys have any other tips for DJs who want to battle and get into competition?
My tip would be that, so what Richie and I, when we do these battles, you're only on stage for 8 minutes, and people are like, only 8 minutes. But the thing is, 8 minutes of pure stage time, everybody's attention on you, is a long time. And like, you know, you have some guys that go up there that don't know any better, and they play maybe 4 songs, 5 songs, you know, and it's like, dude, you can't do that. Like, that's not going to cut it. Like, you got to, like, you know, like if you play 30 seconds, like that even can seem long if you're, you know, like there's a way to navigate around it. And I don't want to sit here and be like, do this, but like, you gotta think of, like, if I've got everybody's focus, you know, you know, playing a song, that normal 1 minute and 30-second edit that you would play in the club is completely irrelevant in an 8-minute set in a DJ battle.
To be honest, my advice would be, obviously, always practice, but DJ battles to me are no longer turning into a set that you should prepare, because you could walk into a room with one set and scramble last second to change it because it's not with the room vibe that you're feeling, or you know that room vibe is not going to work. A good DJ should be able to make things work on the spot. Like plain and simple. You should be able to walk into a room, read the crowd for about 15 minutes, and then open your laptop and be like, I know which direction I'm going, and murder it. Sometimes those sets are better than pre-planned sets.
Yeah, and like, so like we've had guys that have come up to us and been like, I made 3 or 4 different kind of sets within my set tonight that I can go like different directions and stuff. And I think that those are the guys that have gone a little further.
Okay. So you could still prepare, but you need to be able to audible.
Yes, audible,
yes.
perfect. Yeah, yes.
Cool.
I mean, just be able to switch it up last second. I mean, I think that's what makes open format DJs good, is the fact that they could take it any direction. It's not like we're playing a pre-recorded set or anything like that. It's like we're really taking this room in a direction.
And then where can people find you both in person and online? Start with Kombat.
Online, my website that's super outdated is DJCombat.com, but it's got my contact information on there. As far as Instagram, DJ_Combat, Twitter, same thing, Facebook, same thing. And then if you guys ever come down to Cincinnati, want to have good tacos, come to Amigos. And then Tin Roof, Sundays and Tuesday nights. I'm still DJing there on the regular, even during this COVID. So grateful for that.
Yeah.
Fuse?
FUSEAMANIA, pretty much at everything, except for I'm not too active on Facebook these days. But
don't blame you.
Yeah, dude, I can't take that. But Instagram and Twitter, I feel like, is actually kind of fun again these days. So I enjoy reading stuff on there. And then, FUSEAMANIA on, pretty much everything, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, whatever, and on FUSEAMANIA.com.
I want to move over to 614 releases. We did not have any releases that I saw. So again, please reach out to myself or Corrupt. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, there's a link where you can actually just put your release, your mix, your remix, all that. If you release an OG song, let us know so we can feature you. What I do want to feature is the shirt I'm wearing again is from Attention Machine Apparel. So again, nice. AttentionMachineApparel.com sent us the 2 shirts, and I originally thought that they were doing screen printing, and they can do that. However, they have like brand apparel for content creators. So you can see like this says the like, follow, subscribe, and they have other apparel items that you can check out. So, they're not in direct competition with 614 since they're not doing Columbus stuff, but wanted to shout them out and say thank you for sending the shirts. The guy who runs it is Cameron Williamson, and he is a DJ himself and a really good dude. So make sure you check out AttentionMachineApparel.com.
I do have a Lost in the Sauce release, Mike, that I want to shout out. Loom, a.k.a. DJ Pyro, spent a lot of time. Did a trap guest mix.
Changed the name. Did not know that.
Yeah, he did. He changed his name. It might be Lume. I got to find out. But I keep saying Lume.
His bougie acid is probably Lume.
So yeah, he made a pretty good trap guest mix on there. So check it out.
Well, dope, guys. We went over again. This seems to be a common theme lately. But we had 2 fantastic DJs in here. Kombat, Fuse, thank you so much for joining us and making the trip up 71 to be on the Columbus DJ podcast. And yeah, man, we're definitely gonna have some more of you guys as friends on here. And yeah, glad to have you.
Yeah, and thanks for having us. I really appreciate it. And if there's anything that I can help with or get somebody, guys, or connect you with that you might want, let me know. Like, I mean, even if it's somebody you're like DMS, I'm sure somebody would be glad to do the podcast.
Can you get me Diplo?
Oh,
damn.
Thomas Leslie?
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know about
for
that
the stars.
Oh, never mind, man.
Kombat's how you're walking about.
Nah, see ya.
Guys, this is episode 26 in the books. Thank you so much for being here. Peace. We are out.
Thank you, guys.